For centuries, the Baltic states of Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania have been shaped by their position between great powers, caught at the crossroads of East and West. Today, they are free democratic members of the European Union, but their railways still whisper of another era. Built on the broad Russian gauge, the tracks that crisscross these countries point not toward Berlin, Warsaw, or Brussels, but toward Moscow. For passengers, this has meant endless reliance on planes or cars. For freight, it has meant delays, inefficiencies, and dependence on outdated links. The irony is striking. 3 EU nations, yet not a single fast, direct rail link binding them to the rest of Europe. But now, that is about to change. Across the Baltics, an extraordinary construction effort is underway, one that will redraw maps, shorten distances, and pull the region firmly into Europe's orbit. More than just a railway, it is a declaration of independence from the past and a bold leap into the future. Engineers envision it as a new artery of trade and travel. Politicians hail it as a shield of sovereignty, and citizens await it as a lifeline of connection. Today, let's delve into the $6.3 billion Rail Baltica megaproject. Don't forget to click on that subscribe button and like this video, as it's the best way to support this channel. For decades, travel and trade in the Baltic states were shaped by limitations. Passenger trains between Tallinn, Riga, and Vilnius were slow, fragmented, and poorly connected, so most people relied on cars, buses, or short flights instead. Freight bound for Western Europe faced even bigger obstacles. The Baltics rail network was built on the broader Russian gauge of 1520 millimeters, making it incompatible with Europe's 1435 millimeter standard gauge. At the Polish border, every shipment had to be transferred or adjusted, adding costs and delays. The system left the Baltics dependent on inefficient routes and tied to networks oriented toward Russia and Belarus rather than Europe. This disconnect spurred renewed interest in building a modern north-south rail link. As Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania prepared to join the European Union in the early 2000s, the idea gained traction. The EU recognized its strategic importance and included it in the Trans-European Transport Network, designed to close missing links across the continent. A joint feasibility study in 2010 confirmed that such a line would deliver strong economic and environmental benefits. In 2014, the 3 states created RB Rail AS, a joint venture to coordinate construction. With EU support through the Connecting Europe facility, Rail Baltica moved from vision to reality. At its core, Rail Baltica is a transformative new railway stretching 870 kilometers from Tallinn in Estonia through Riga in Latvia and Kaunas in Lithuania, before linking to Poland's network at Terrifies. From there, it connects directly into the wider European high-speed rail system, creating a continuous corridor from the Baltic states to Warsaw, Berlin, and beyond. Designed as a double-track electrified line, it represents far more than an upgrade of existing infrastructure. It is a brand new system built to modern European standards. The line is tailored for both passengers and freight. High-speed trains will reach up to 234 kilometers per hour, cutting the journey from Tallinn to Warsaw from nearly 15 hours to under 6 hours, while freight trains will run at 120 kilometers per hour, offering a competitive alternative to trucks and reducing road congestion. Supporting this backbone is an array of major infrastructure. New stations in Tallinn, Pärnu, Riga, Riga Airport, Panevėžys, Kaunas, and Vilnius will serve as intermodal hubs linking seamlessly with buses, trams, and air travel. Over 100 bridges and viaducts will carry the line across rivers and landscapes, including the landmark 1.7-kilometer Daugava Rail Bridge in Riga. Freight terminals at Muuga, Salaspils, and Kaunas will anchor logistics flows, shifting millions of tons of cargo toward cleaner transport. Technologically, Rail Baltica will be powered by a 2x25 kV AC electrification system and managed by the European Rail Traffic Management System, ensuring safety and interoperability across borders. Every level crossing will be eliminated and replaced by underpasses or viaducts. Sustainability is central, with wildlife passages, noise barriers, and renewable energy integration designed to minimize environmental impact. By completion, the project is expected to cut annual CO2 emissions by 400,000 tons. With its mix of speed, efficiency, and sustainability, Rail Baltica is a 21st century model of connectivity and regional transformation. Building Rail Baltica is a major engineering task, as it is a completely new railway across 3 countries rather than an upgrade of existing lines. One of the most complex tasks is bridging the region's waterways. The signature structure will be the 1.7-kilometer Daugava rail bridge in Riga, the longest of its kind in the Baltics. Beyond this, hundreds of viaducts and river crossings must be built to span valleys, wetlands, and flood-prone areas, each engineered to handle heavy freight and endure harsh northern winters. Soil conditions create further obstacles. Parts of Latvia and Lithuania lie on soft soils and peatlands, unsuitable for high-speed tracks without reinforcement. To counter this, engineers are applying deep piling, soil replacement, and ground stabilization techniques, ensuring long-term safety and resilience. Urban construction adds additional complexity. Riga Central Station is being completely redeveloped to integrate new tracks into a dense urban core while keeping existing services operational. At Riga Airport, the high-speed line will connect directly to the passenger terminal, an unprecedented integration in the region. Similar coordination is required in Tallinn and Kaunas, where city infrastructure must adapt to new rail systems. Work has progressed in phases since the late 2010s, beginning with surveys, land acquisition, and utility relocation. By the mid-2020s, large-scale works were underway across Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, with foundations laid for bridges, terminals, and embankments. Despite delays from the pandemic and rising costs, construction momentum continues, marking steady progress toward one of Europe's most technically ambitious rail projects. Rail Baltica is among the largest infrastructure investments in Northern and Eastern Europe, with an estimated cost of $6.3 billion. Around 85% of financing comes from the European Union's Connecting Europe facility, which supports projects that strengthen cross-border transport links. The remaining share is provided by Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, each covering its section of the line. Opportunities for private investment are expected in freight terminals, station development, and commercial spaces around new hubs. To manage the project, the 3 states created RB Rail AS in 2014, a joint venture headquartered in Riga. This centralized body ensures unified procurement, consistent technical standards, and coordinated planning, vital for a cross-border railway of this scale. Like any megaproject, Rail Baltica faces significant hurdles. Rising construction costs, labor shortages, and supply chain pressures have fueled fears that the budget could surpass $7.6 billion. Environmental concerns are another source of tension, with critics warning that construction through Latvia's wetlands and Estonia's forests may cause lasting damage despite planned wildlife crossings. Political coordination between 3 sovereign states has also proven difficult, with disagreements over procurement, routing, and station design slowing progress and straining RB Rail AS. Some skeptics question whether passenger demand will meet forecasts, noting the relatively small populations of Baltic capitals and predicting that air travel will remain the dominant choice for longer journeys. Geopolitics adds further complexity. Russia views the line as a strategic move to detach the Baltics from its orbit, and cyber attacks and disinformation campaigns have been linked to attempts to undermine public support. Despite these hurdles, strong EU backing and regional determination keep Rail Baltica advancing as both infrastructure and political symbol. The potential benefits of Rail Baltica are profound. Economically, it will create an estimated 36,000 jobs during construction and 13,000 permanent jobs once operational. By linking the Baltics to Poland and Germany, it opens new trade routes and logistics opportunities. Freight costs are expected to drop significantly, giving Baltic exporters a competitive edge. For passengers, Rail Baltica will revolutionize mobility. Tallinn to Riga in 2 hours, Riga to Kaunas in 1 hour, and Kaunas to Warsaw in under 4 hours will make train travel a viable alternative to flying. The project also integrates regional airports, making multimodal journeys seamless. Environmentally, the shift from road and air to rail will reduce emissions, contributing to EU climate targets. By 2050, Rail Baltica is projected to cut road traffic by 30,000 truckloads annually, easing congestion and pollution. Rail Baltica cements EU cohesion by linking the Baltics to Europe's grid, reducing reliance on Russia. In a crisis, the railway could support NATO by enabling faster military transport and deployment. In summary, Rail Baltica is a lifeline of connectivity, sustainability, and security. Looking ahead, once Rail Baltica opens in the early 2030s, it will mark a new chapter of integration for Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, tying them firmly into Europe's economic and political core. Already, the project is sparking urban redevelopment in Riga, Kaunas, and Tallinn, where new stations are emerging as anchors for business districts, housing, and innovation. Future ambitions even envision an undersea tunnel to Helsinki, extending the line into a true North European high-speed corridor. Its importance, however, goes beyond transport. Rail Baltica is a declaration of orientation, confirming that the Baltics' future lies westward with the EU and NATO, not eastward under Russian influence. Despite cost pressures and technical hurdles, strong EU backing and regional commitment keep the project on track. Like the great transcontinental railways of the past, Rail Baltica is not just connecting cities, it is reshaping the very fabric of Europe's future.